Alrighty, g'day guys, David from Fern Cards here. Welcome to another video on the channel. Give us a like, a subscribe, all that stuff down below on the video. It'd be great. Helps me know that some people are actually enjoying it, which would be great. And give us the Vern Cards 1870 Instagram page a follow as well if you want to just see pretty photos of cards, or you may not think they're pretty. Who knows? Anyway, give it a follow. But I'm here to talk about Prestige 2022, Footy Stars Prestige 2022 from Select Australia. The latest release from them. One of the favourites of the past couple of years with the parallels and some of the inserts that can be quite valuable, and just some pretty looking cards as well. So I opened 3 boxes of Prestige 2022. I've got a video of each box opening on the YouTube channel if you want to go back and have a look at them. I particularly recommend having a look at the third video for one of the main issues I'm going to bring up in this review of the product, as well as box 1 had a nice hit as well. I have some thoughts and feelings about the product and the release, and they're not all positive. I feel there was a little bit of something that was not meant to happen that happened with my third box. I'm not sure how hit ratios and stuff are meant to be, how on point they're meant to be, but there's something that one of my favourite cards of the release that is meant to be in every box, I got missed out on. So that is something that has got me a little bit miffed. It's not. This is just my opinion. I'm not going to be sitting here being like, I'm out of the hobby. Those people that go, the hobby's dead. I'm out of the hobby because I'm getting screwed. It's just like this is all. Sometimes when you're buying boxes and stuff like that, it's all gambling as to what you hit, because I also hit a lot of the big cards were either Giants or Suns. So, and that's part of it. That's part of it. I'm not mad about that. I just when you don't get a hit that is based on the ratios, you're not just hoping to get, virtuosos and Brownlow predictors. You're just hoping to hit one, but you're not possibly not going to hit one, especially when you can only get 3 boxes. I know you could get up to 4, but I just, budgeting wise, I was like, I can't go more than 3. So, I understand all that stuff, but when there's cards that you're meant to hit, or you by ratio, you should be safely getting in a box, and you don't get. I think that's something that's a little bit more on the side that where I hope that people that are watching will be understanding where a little bit of the frustration comes from as a collector, that something that you're expecting doesn't come through in the box. And a Selector, I think, have had a pretty good, as far as my experience has gone, Selector have had a pretty good ratio of, I've never had something that I'm expecting in a box not come up. So this is the first time thing for me. So I'm not sitting here going, oh, fuck Select or anything like that. I'm just saying it's something that I think is whether that's a quality control issue, or if it's intentional, I would be I'd be a bit miffed as well. Like, if there's an intention that sometimes someone's going to get 2 in one box and someone's going to miss out, I don't enjoy that either. So, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it all. But first of all, we might as well have a look at the cards. Have a look at the cards and see what we're working with in this release. So, where do we start? I guess Game Breakers, because they're the highest numbered cards. And then they're one the past couple of years I've really enjoyed. There's be a video coming soon where I'll talk about some of the cards. I've got a grading submission back, so keep an eye on that for that. That'll probably be out in a day or two. Where I've got a nice Game Breakers from last year's Prestige that's graded very, very well. So keep an eye out for that video. But yeah, the Game Breakers in this release were obviously, this year was the forward 50 Game Breakers. Last year was the midfield Game Breakers. So Game Breakers forward 50, the 5 forward 50 players that break the game, I guess. So I'll get this one up here. This one I was happy to hit as well because it's my team. So as you can see, there's a real rainbow foil through the card there, and the Game Breakers forward 50. Todd Marshall there for the Port Adelaide Footy Club. There we go. So you can see that rainbow foil getting through there really nicely, and then obviously the numbering on the back there. So 341 of 750 there. Sorry, 34. There we go. So really happy with how they've come out. As always, I just think they're a nice card. They're a nice one. They're not like a high value card or anything like that. And just to compare it to this forward 50 Game Breakers from the Footy Stars 2022 release, you can see there's no rainbow through there. So that's the exact same well, not the exact same player, but the exact same card from their release a couple of months ago. They've updated the foiling of it for Prestige. And obviously these ones are not numbered either. So yeah, a really cool. They're just a fun card to collect. I think they're a nice looking card, and something to just and the fact they're numbered at least gives you some idea of, even numbered to 750. I think gives you some idea of the even if it's a small value, it still gives you an idea or somewhere to value it, I think, as well. And just as a collector, like I've said before, I think I just enjoy numbered cards in my collection too. So even if it's numbered to 750, I think that's a wonderful thing to be able to collect and give yourself something to look at. All right, so the next one we'll look at is the I won't go in order of numbering, because I think just for I'll talk about the parallels all in one hit here in a sec. But so we had the milestone cards again in this release. I'll try to get it out of the light there a little bit. I'll catch the light in the right way. So the light's just catching it wrong. But that's a milestone card. So these are numbered in this release. But the one thing I would have liked to see them do here is do similar to the Game Breakers, and that's why I wanted to do this one next as well, and have a bit more of a different foiling. Because I think this is a milestone card. This is Zach Merritt milestone card from Footy Stars 2022, and you can kind of see, if we put them up there together, they're very similar in their card design on the front. There's not much difference apart from obviously one of them being Prestige, and they don't even mention that on the front anyway. So they're essentially the same card to me, as far as the front design and everything. There's no difference apart from just the back. Obviously, get that in focus. The Prestige cards are numbered, so that is one thing. They're numbered to 195, so that's number 80 of 195. Whereas the regular release ones were not numbered. Again, get that light to catch it the right way. But yeah, so I love the milestone cards. They're a nice card, nice insert, and I'm glad they're numbered in this one. But I would have liked to have just seen maybe that rainbow foil or something. It's just something different on the front there as well. Just personally, I enjoy what they've done with the Game Breakers on that front, so it would have maybe been cool to see if they continued that with the milestone cards as well. But because otherwise, you just might as well. I just don't know why they didn't number them in the original release and then they number them here and there. But you're already getting the. I don't know. There's just something about the milestone cards that just drops a little bit short on this one for me. Apart from throwing the number on the back, there's not much difference to the other ones. But there's still a nice card. And I do enjoy them. There's just not much else there for me to differentiate from the regular release, whereas the Game Breakers has done a really good job of giving them something legitimately different beyond numbering to enjoy aesthetically about the card. And that's what I've enjoyed about the Game Breakers, and why the milestone one, just opening them up, I was just like, okay, it's a milestone card, it's numbered, that's great. But apart from looking for a jumper number or a low number under 5 or something like that, as far as value goes, you're not really getting anything else out of it as far as aesthetically. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we collect cards for, is the aesthetic of them. So yeah, the milestone cards, always a nice insert, a nice thing to celebrate, about the players that we're collecting the cards for and everything like that. But beyond that, there's not much more to it for me, unfortunately, in this release that differentiates it from the previous Footy Stars release. Alrighty, it's time to talk parallels. So we got 4 parallels in this release this year. So anyone that loves collecting rainbows, you're in luck in this release. If you watch one of my videos, I got 2 Brandon Ellis cards in one box, so I was halfway to a rainbow. And I've got to go through my others because I reckon I might be halfway to a rainbow of another player. But I'm not. My collecting style is a little bit all over the place the last couple of years. I don't have the ability, financially, it's hard to just go after everything. So I keep an eye on Port Adelaide cards and eBay, and I just collect whatever is priced at. It's something, when something pops up at a price and I'm happy to pay for it, I grab it, but I don't go out of my way. I'm not too worried. I do not want to miss out on this. I know there's some cards that may just disappear from the market and be very hard to get from some point onwards, but I can't afford to go out of my way to get them either. So it's just something I have to accept, and that's part of being a collector. Being in the hobby is having responsible kind of collecting practices, I guess, that you don't kind of go out of your way to make sure a card gets into your collection if it's not going to be financially feasible at that time. So yeah, rainbows and all that stuff is not something I'm too worried about, but I do appreciate it as a collector's thing, and I would love to. I think at some point I might keep an eye on the Port Adelaide boys in these parallel sets, just to be able to, if they, because looking at eBay, the pricing might be okay at the moment for me to grab a few, I think. So, But we'll just hold them all up together so you can kind of see. So we've got the pink, we've got the orange, we've got the blue, and you can see I've already got one of Port Adelaide boys from my boxes. So that helps a little bit. You can kind of see the colours there, and holding them up together. I'll see if I can get them, as I bring the microphone with me, get them close and catch the light right. But they are a nice, vibrant set. Like the colours and the grid background really catches the light nicely. And they're a really vibrant set. So in that sense, the design aesthetic for me, I'm actually really happy with them. On that front, I'm not like there was just so many of them coming through. So like you got to be desensitized after you rip through a few of them. But they are, when I come back to it the next morning today, I've actually just looked at them again, and they're a really nice card. So first of all, we'll just have a closer look at 183 of 325 is that Patrick Cripps pink parallel. So these ones are numbered to 325. So pretty easy challenges. So not hard to get. But they're a really nice card. Obviously, look at the colours bouncing off of those. I'll just try to fly through these quickly because everyone's seen plenty of them anyway, I'm sure. We've got an Andrew Brayshaw, number 26 of 210 on the orange parallel. Obviously, I've got a bunch more over there, but I'm just giving examples here. So, yeah, again, those colours bouncing off really nicely. Beautiful looking card. Then we've got the Jake Lever. Pack your bags and never come back from Adelaide, and he was happy to do it. Premiership player since. Anyway, yeah, the blue parallel, I think that's to 110. So there you go. We've got 13 of 110 there on the Jake Lever. So yeah, again, really nice looking card. The same obviously same design and lots through it. And of course, one I was really happy to open for myself. We've got the 38 of 60. X-Man Xavier Dersma, Unleash the Bow and Arrow Son in the green parallel there. So the greens are kind of that was like the key card from Prestige the last couple of years, number to 60. If you get a Dusty Martin one, hello, $500, $600, $700, depending on when you sell it. But yeah, highly collectible, some of the green ones. Unfortunately, we'll have a look at the other two green ones I got. So out of 3 boxes, I got one of my Port boys, so really happy with that. But then I got a Sun and a Giant. So part of the game, you sometimes don't always get lucky as far as your resale value. I got a Bontempelli out of my one box I bought last year. Sold that one for, I think it went at $112. Probably should have just kept it and graded it and kept it for longevity maybe. But it was I got back most of my box price from that one card. So not sure how I'll go with these guys. And then obviously the Dersma one's not going anywhere for me. But, that's part of it. You're not always going to hit the big players, and you're just still going to... So I'll pop them up on eBay and probably see what happens with them. Won't be expecting too much. That's fine. That's part of it. I'm in it for collecting my players and cards. But, as part of it is when you buy boxes, you're hoping to hit as many of your players as you can and then recoup some value from the other ones you get and then... to be able to collect your players. So that's part of it. It's either you're trading or you're selling, and I'm more of a just pop them up on eBay and see what they sell for. It helps me with me collecting, and I'll talk about the way I do things in another video at some point. I find it just with how I deal with, I'm not a good negotiator. I have a lot of social anxiety and whatever. I find it easy to just pop things on eBay, sell them. I get my value back. I can keep an eye on what I'm putting out and taking in a little bit better and kind of just have a defined way of keeping an eye on how... Because I want to have the hobby be somewhat self-sustainable for me, so I'm not out, taking too much money from life money now that I'm into it a bit. And so that's why I find it easier, just with my brain and how I handle things, to sell, buy, and then if I know people, then that's when trading comes into it. I'm not trading with people I don't know on Facebook or whatever is just something I'm very wary of. It's not that I'm against it. I'm just myself. It's just it gives me a little bit of the heart jitters and stuff like that, and sending off card without the eBay protections and stuff like that. So that's just how I am. But we'll see how we go with some of these, and I'll try to do a few videos here and there when I'm buying and selling a little bit and see how things go. But the green parallels again are a really nice card. I'm trying to just not get the light too much, but yeah, the grid pattern I really enjoy actually. Last year's parallels, I don't have one with me here at the moment. I do have a couple of them left from my last. I just hadn't got sold yet, and they've just been. I've got a couple of blue ones from last year graded now actually, which I'll show in another video. Yeah, that's those ones. So the parallels, I think that they're going to be. I was a little bit. Like I said before, I got a little bit desensitized to how many of them were coming through when I was opening the boxes yesterday. But actually coming back to them this morning, I've actually really enjoyed looking at them. So they're a wonderful thing in the set. There's a lot of them. So it'll be interesting to see how the values go on eBay and stuff over the next couple of weeks and how the market goes with them, because there is a lot of them, and especially when you get to your pinks and orange. Oranges a little bit, and your pinks especially. There is, the number to 325 or 210. There's going to be a fair few flooding the market over the next couple of weeks. It'll be really interesting to see how they go. I've seen some eBay auctions starting at $1 or $2, and some not ending too much more than that. So people are picking up some bargains on those ones if they're looking for their personal collecting cards and whatever. So good for them. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes as far as some of these other cards, like especially my Gold Coast Suns Brandon Ellis and my Tim Taranto Giants, which not bad cards to have. Like, they're good players. They're just they're teams that aren't highly collectible. So if Tim Taranto was a Richmond Tiger, it'd be suddenly it's an interesting part of the collectors, the AFL collecting economy, really, isn't it? So, but they're cards. They're really enjoy them, but we'll see how they go with those. And take a quick break because I need to have some water because COVID, and then I'll talk about the next couple of things because I've got some issues coming up. But I'll talk about the Hunt for Virtuoso and the Brownlow predictors next. Alrighty, so if you watch the videos, you already know the Hunt for Virtuoso was a success. It was a success, and I'm really excited to have got a Virtuoso in there, as well as a Brownlow predictor. So we'll show the Brownlow predictor first. These are numbered. This is a wildcard predictor. Number 13 of 60 is a Geelong Cats Platinum Brownlow predictor. Numbered. Sorry, the focus isn't very good on the computer there, but 13 of 60 there for the Geelong Cats Brownlow predictor. So, that's if I can find my pack that I had here sitting here earlier. It's fallen on the ground. Bloody hell. So the Brownlow predictors are 1 per 96 pack. So, one per 4 boxes basically. So in 3 boxes, you're almost, a chance of getting one. So I did get one though. So that's nice. I don't know what the value of that's going to be, but it'll pop it up. And again, I might do a video in a couple of weeks once I've sold a few and see how we've gone. And the Hunt for Virtuoso was a success. We have a Sam Taylor Virtuoso numbered 7 of 50. And you can see there is a real nice rainbow foil that gets through there as well. Obviously, that really, really nice smoky kind of red smoke haze background is really, really nice as well. But a really nice looking card. The Virtuosos are a wonderful card, kind of like the marquees of this year. It's the back, not as much on there because the numbering's on the front as well. But it was a success. Obviously, again, I mentioned before, I've got a lot of Giants and Suns. You can see the 2 other greens, apart from my personal collecting card and Dersma, were a Giant and a Sun, and then the Virtuoso was a Giant as well. So again, collecting as far as value-wise goes, it's a little bit of a rough trot on that front. But this is not me complaining about that, though, because I think it's still Virtuosos are 1 in 240 packs, so 1 per 10 boxes, essentially. So to get one out of my 3 boxes was still something. And it's cool to have one in hand, have a look at it, see it in person, see what the card looks like, and appreciate the aesthetic beauty of it, because they are a really nice-looking card. And whatever that card goes for, I don't think it's going to go for a great deal of money when I try to get it up on eBay, but it'll be still someone's going to get. Giant collectors out there the giant collectors that are out there that collect hardcore must enjoy the market they as well. So you got to have some wins sometimes. It's a really nice looking card though. I'm really happy to have seen one come through. And I enjoy that part of the hobby, is the fact that regardless of if it's your team or if it's a high value card or anything like that, I got to open one up and get the joy of opening one up out of ripping out a pack, and that's part of the childhood fun that we get out of this, that we bring back to ourselves, that just wonder of opening up cards and seeing something cool that we haven't seen before or held before. So really fun to open that one up. Right, here's the issues. I have issues, and I think it'll be interesting to see, and I'll be interested to see your comments below if anyone else what you think about this. But I opened up 3 boxes of Prestige. Now, if we have a look at our odds, the classified cards, I've got one here from the Footy Stars release. Were one of my favourite ones from Footy Stars. This is the Nolly ones when I picked up on eBay afterwards. I'm slowly trying to pick up some of the port cards I need to out of this, but classified was one of my favourite sets. This one's 145 out of 270. Obviously, we saw when Prestige was announced, we were going to get Midnight Classified, so a black kind of background version of this same card, numbered to 60. So insanely more rare than a numbered to 270. I guess you could call this the daylight variation if they're calling this Midnight. So opening up 3 boxes, 1 to 60, numbered to 60, 1 in 24 packs. I should be getting 3 Midnight Classifieds, right? These are the 2 I have out of my 3 boxes. Now, if you watch video number 3, box 3 of 3, you'll come to, and I've got it in the show notes, or the comments, the caption below the recap, the point that you can click in the video where I actually got down to about 5 packs to go, and I still hadn't hit the green, and I still hadn't hit any milestones or the classified. So 5 packs to go, hadn't hit any of those, and with I think the 5th pack to go, I opened it up and I hit a game breaker or something like that. So I sat there and said on video, I need to hit one of these, a green and 2 milestones if I'm going to keep up the ratios that have been coming from the other packs. Because I think the milestones, if we have a look here, they're 1 per 12 packs. So you should be hitting 2 milestones in every box, at least 1 green, because they're actually 1 per 22 packs, I believe. Green parallel, which is an odd one. So you should be at least hitting 1 green, but there's some people are going to get lucky with 2, which is fine. But with the classifieds, I'm expecting with 1 per 24 packs, and Select, I have, as far as I'm aware, been pretty good with keeping their ratios pretty good. I should be having 3 of these. And now these are my favourite card out of this release, I'll tell you that. Now, Virtuoso aside, I think, the Virtuoso not being a guarantee, this was my favourite guaranteed card in this release, because I was like, I'm going to have 3 of these cards, regardless if it's my team or not. I'm going to have 3 cool cards to look at and then hopefully sell and then be able to recoup the cost of going out and chasing down the Port Adelaide players that I want in this release, because I want to line up my Port Adelaide boys with the daylight ones if I can. There's actually one collecting thing that I want to do. Try to do, because I actually just really enjoy it. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I think they're one of the better looking cards released this year. So I've got 2. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick look at them. Obviously, you got we got a Paul Seedsman one for the Crows there, numbered to 40 out of 60, and we've got a number 14 of 60 Charlie Cameron classified there as well. So you can see that design in the backing of the card. Try to rotate it through there. The ring light's catching it a bit. You can kind of see that card stock has just got this really cool, I don't know if it's like a snake skin kind of thing in the backing or what you call that, but they're just a really nice looking card. I don't know how they what the guarantee. So if the ratios are not guaranteed to exist within individual boxes or cases, player list correct at time printing, the full checklist, whatever. So they do not, it's written on the pack. So I get that. I do get that. I'm not going to go after Select for, recouping losses or anything like that. But that's like kind of a standard thing that every card company is going to have to cover their ass for mistakes. But I still think it is a mistake to not have one in every box. Because that, as a company, I think you need to, because then is someone else getting 2, they're having a really good day, but then they've taken away from someone else's day. Because I think, imagine if I'd only bought 1 box, and I'd gotten that box, I would be absolutely I would have just sat there and gone, what's the point? Because I love these products and I love these releases and I love looking at the checklist and going, okay, and that's how I make my decision on purchasing is I look at the checklist and go, okay, what is pretty much guaranteed? I know it says it's not guaranteed, but they're pretty much saying that you're going to get 1 in every box. I think most reasonable Select purchases, if you've had this happen to you, it would be interesting to see you in the comments. If you haven't got those, you would be feeling similar to me. I think you would be feeling a little bit ripped off in the sense of not getting something that you're reasonably led to believe you should be getting in that box. That's what it is, where they're leading us to believe with these ratios that is something that you can expect in the box. And that's one of the big things in the box is the number to 60 cards, and that's what you're kind of basing your value off. I look at that box and go, it's not worth it. Like, we're paying a decent amount of money for the box, and they're not getting that out. God, I couldn't even imagine if I'd just put that box on eBay and for the people who are selling boxes for $250, $300 or whatever, and someone had bought that box, they'd be feeling even more gypped than I am. But I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm not going to get too much into it. I just, that's my personal opinion, is I think if you're going to have a ratio of 1 per 24, just make sure that happens, I guess. There is, I get that it is not a guaranteed thing, but I think that's more of a cover your ass legal term on the pack rather than something that you're actually, that selector intentionally trying to do. And so I think that's something that's actually just gone wrong in the process. Because if you watch the video, a lot of the cards came in bunches. Like, it was really, they weren't. It almost felt like it was just a pack. It was like the way it was packed was weird. They came in. I got a run of oranges, run of pinks, or a run of pinks, run of oranges. Didn't even get a game breakers to 7 packs in, and then it was game breakers, and it was just they came in like, it was a weird box layout as well. So it was just I remember commenting early in the video, I was like, the cards are coming in runs. And then when it got to later in the video and I realized I hadn't hit any of these certain cards, I was like, it just seemed weird to me the way the box layout was. And it's just something to comment on and criticize. This is what I'm doing with this. I'm reviewing the release. So this is something that I noticed in the release that was not something that I was really that happy with. So I have to, it's just something I have to speak on and just say that's a negative experience for me in opening the product. To miss out on the card that I was the most excited about in this release, as far as what I thought were a reasonably expected hit in each box. Not guaranteed, but reasonable expectation is there should be one in every box. I missed out on one, and again, it's the extracting value from a box to be able to go out and collect what I want to get once I've opened my boxes. That is a negative part of the experience for me too, because there's one less card and there's one more, whether it was another pink or orange that I ended up getting in there, or a game break, because their cards are not of equal value. And people might go, well, you got a Brownlow predictor out of it, or I got the Virtuoso out of another box. That's an added hit. They're not meant to be taking away from a spot either. They're meant to be an addition to. It's meant to be a bonus. I'm not meant, because I'd probably take the classified over a wild card, Geelong Cats Brownlow predictor. Not to be, beggars can't be choosers or whatever, but that's just my personal collecting. That's how I would take it, but I shouldn't have to be making that choice. That should be something that's an addition to, not taking away from. So that's probably the biggest issue I've had with this release, is the fact that there was a missing card in my box, essentially. I don't know. I'd have to go through the video again to work out what there was more of in the box. But yeah, I'll take a break and wrap it up quickly here now. Alrighty, so wrapping things up. So Prestige, look, a wonderful release as usual. I think the parallels are really fun, really vibrant designs in there. As we can see, and I'll grab the stack again and just fan them out like a deck, like a little hand of cards. They're just a really nice, vibrant. You can see the colours bouncing off there. Really, really, really vibrant release. And Select have done a great job with them as well. Going to be a fun thing for the collectors that are into the rainbows and stuff like that. Obviously, Virtuosos out of the park again with just a really cool card design there. But as I said before, there is a negative to the release in the sense that there was a card that, while fine print might say not guaranteed, the classifieds opening 3 boxes and only getting 2 of a 1 per 24 packs. I've opened 72 packs and only gotten 2, so there's a little bit of a jip on the ratios there, and that's probably my biggest issue. Is I think while they don't guarantee it, it's a quality control thing, I guess, to make sure that all customers get it. Because if I'd been the customer that only ordered 1 box and that's the box I got, I would be pretty, I think, understandably aggrieved. And again, for me, even opening up my 3 boxes, it's a value extracting thing for collecting that I haven't got out of it. So it's an unfortunate thing. So that's my biggest issue. I wonder if anyone else has had that issue, pop it in the comments, or if it's other hits, if you've missed out on a green, which shouldn't happen, being their 1 per 22, or just anything. I think it's the classifieds, I guess, would be the 1 per 24s that would be the issue. So if anyone's had any issues like that, pop a comment below. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts on it. Again, I'm not being that hobby person that's going, I'm out, this is done, this is selected. I understand it's just an issue that's happened somewhere, but it's something that it needs to be spoken on if it happens, I guess, just as a part of a constructive criticism thing, I guess. So I love the hobby. I love Select. I love what they do. I'll keep purchasing the product, but it's just something to keep an eye on, is to make sure that these kind of things don't happen too often. Because I think it's part of buying boxes. You hope to be having the same experience, even if you're hitting a lot of giants and a lot of suns. You're still hitting the same cards. You know, it's kind of a socialist utopia. Everyone's getting the same things, even if they're getting, some people are getting the good ones, some are getting bad, but they're still getting the same cards and numbering and stuff. But once you start seeing those ratios start getting a little bit of go awry, it gets a little bit. That's when it starts getting a little bit. The question marks start getting raised in your mind as someone, and then the next release comes around, you've got to touch more anxiety about if you're going to get, how the box is going to go for you. So. Yeah, but overall, I enjoy the cards. I enjoy the release. I think it's a really attainable product. Well, attainable in the sense of a cost. It's quite. You need to be on the ball with ordering. Make sure you're online at the drop time, and then just hope that you're kind of in luck with you getting through the checkout process online and everything like that. But yeah, as far as the price goes and everything like that, for a product that's got some value in there, it's quite attainable for the when you see the box prices of some things in the US with some of the products over there. We are lucky in the sense that we do get them at a price that is a lot more attainable. Obviously, the value then, therefore, is not as much as some of the cards you can get in the US as well. But it's still, as far as obviously we're the first and foremost, we're collectors and hobbyists, so we want the attainability of it is the most important thing. So. Yeah, a fun release, really enjoyable to open, and the parallels are a really fun thing to look at, and they're aesthetically they're really vibrant and bounce off the card, I guess you could say. And yeah, the game breakers were really the update to the game breakers was nice. The numbering was good. Milestone cards again, like I said earlier, I would appreciate a little bit more design elements differentiating them from the milestone cards from the regular release. But again, it's cool to see a lot of numbered cards. So yeah, thoughts below, everything like that. Do the Instagram follow, subscribe, likes, all that stuff. I don't have anything to point at, so yeah, that's about it. Cheers, guys. Yeah, we'll be back with another video soon.